This is number 9 on your test review for chapter 2. So it says find the average rate of change and then find the equation of the secant line that passes through the given points. So this is our equation. F of x equals 3x squared minus 2, and we want to find the average range on the interval from 1 to 3. So remember, our average rate of change is just a fancy slope formula essentially. It's f of b minus f of a over b minus a. And remember, this is my first x value, so I'm going from this x all the way to this x. So I'm going to plug in f of 3 minus f of 1 over 3 minus 1. On your test tomorrow, that step right there is worth 1 point, just showing you could set it up. Well, then we actually have to calculate, okay, what is f of 3? So to do that, this just means anytime you see an x, you're going to replace it with a 3. It's going to find our y value when we plug in 3 for x. So when you plug 3 in, you get 3 squared is 9, times 3 is 27, minus 2 is 25. So then I get 25 minus, now I have to figure out my f1. So again, in order to do that, you go in and plug in anytime you see an x, you're going to replace it with 1. So 3 times 1 squared minus 2. Well, 1 squared is 1, times 3 is 3, minus 2 is 1. So f of 1 is 1. And it's still over 3 minus 1. What this means, remember, this was my x value, this was my corresponding y value. This was another x value, and this was another corresponding y value. So then if you actually simplify this, you get 24 over 2, which is equal to 12. So that means my average rate of change is equal to 12. Also remember, average rate of change is the slope of the secant line between those 2 points. So if I were just to do a rough sketch of this, I know it looks kind of like a quadratic, okay? Say this was my x was 1 and this was my x is 3. This would be your secant line that connects those 2 points. Now, we already found the slope of that. It was 12. That's why we just found the slope between those 2 points. So now to do the line, there's 2 ways you can do it. Remember, this point is technically, when I plugged in 1, I got 1. So my drawing isn't perfect. But then when I plugged in 3, I got 25. So we have the slope and 2 points. I would choose to use point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Then our y never changes. And then you choose a point. I'm going to do 1, 1 because it's easy. So y minus 1, because that was my y value, equals m, which was my slope, which is my average rate of change, so 12. And then x minus my x value. Well, my x value at this point was also 1. And then we'd have to put it into slope-intercept form. So I would distribute. So I'd get y minus 1 equals 12x. 12 times negative 1 is negative 12. I'd add 1. So I'd get y equals 12x. Ooh, minus, that's a minus sign, 11. And that would be the equation of your secant line. And then your average rate of change was 12. So you got to remember, your average rate of change, that's the slope of your secant line. This is the equation of your secant line. So that's how you would do all of number 9 on your test review.